Greetings viewers, welcome to Precious Academy. So it's high time we continued solving these questions on radioactivity. So radioactivity, I've already taught a full topic. So if you want, I encourage you to go and watch the video because the video is still available. If you want to understand the radioactivity in the same way I have did. So radioactivity, this is the simplest topic I can say. So this question we are going to solve is question B9 in Science 2023 10. So the question requires us to complete the table by filling in the missing properties. So on the first column we have an alpha particle, then second we have a beta particle, last we have the gamma ray. So to continue filling up this table we have to know the characteristics of emissions. So now on number one we have the first characteristic, which is nature. So by nature an alpha particle is known as an helium nuclide. When a beta particle by nature it is known as an electron. When a gamma ray by nature it is known as an electromagnetic wave. Then we move on to charge. So an alpha particle has a positive 2 charge, when the beta particle has a negative 1 charge, whereas the gamma ray has a neutral charge. It has no charge. So others even say it has a 0 charge. So we have completed filling up the missing properties. So we are just going to move on to question B. So question B, this diagram is only demonstrating again another characteristic of emission, which we call the penetration power. So on the penetration power, we have the gamma ray with the strongest penetration power, followed by the beta particle with a strong penetration power. Then lastly we have an alpha particle with the weakest penetration power. So here we have on the first transparent object, which is the paper, the second aluminium, and lastly we have the lead. So the only emission which is going to be able to pass through all these materials provided, it is the gamma ray, or it is the gamma emission, then followed by the beta emission, then lastly we are going to have an alpha emission. So on this question, which is B1, where we have to identify the emissions E, F, and G. So E is going to be an alpha particle because an alpha particle has the weakest penetration power. Then F is going to be the beta particle because the beta particle it has a better penetration power than the alpha particle. Then G is going to be the gamma ray because the gamma ray has the strongest penetration power. Then the last question, which is B2, says give one difference between emission E and emission G. So emission E, we all know that it is an alpha emission. Then emission G, we all know that it is a gamma emission. So emission E, it is known as an helium nuclide, while emission G, it is known as an electromagnetic wave. If you don't want to say that, you can also say emission E has a charge of positive 2, whereas emission G has no charge, or it has a neutral charge. If you don't want to say that, you can say emission E is deflected in a magnetic field and the electric field, whereas emission G is not deflected. It goes in a straight line. So all these were the possible answers that were needed on this question. So I encourage everyone to go and watch the full video which I made on radioactivity. I made sure I explained in better and simplest terms. So I encourage everyone to go and watch the same video and come back and join me in solving these radioactivity questions. So 2025 we have come back more motivated, more ready to make more videos. I'm just going to be releasing after releasing. So if you are ready, you are just going to be. I just urge you to continue studying and doing everything possible to pass. It's Righteous Academy. Don't forget to subscribe.